Well, hello. To come riding in a one-horse sleigh. It's Christmas time, you guys. It is. Go. And let your folks know this is our Christmas special. Let me look at the camera because I can see every time I'm looking down at the monitor, it wants me to look right at the camera. So how are you guys doing today? Let me get my little comments going so I can see what y'all are saying. Welcome to GodFidence. This is December the 23rd, and we're about to get rolling, you guys. We got a special gift. David's over here making all kind of noise coming in like we're not doing a live broadcast. Look. Look. We have had a fun-filled weekend. So, happy GodFidence. Oh, but look, you guys, I got to start with this. Guess what this week is? It's not only our Savior's birthday, but it's the big baby's birthday right here on the 25th also. That was a nice conclusion to the song, wasn't it? That was right on time. Look at there. And so, what have you done?
What have I
For
done?
the past 7 days since the last GodFidence, what have you done?
Two of my very dear closest friends took out to dinner.
Okay.
My wife afforded a Sprinter.
It was just it's suburban
car service.
Car service
to drive us, and we went to one of our favorite restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
If you've not been to Poor Calvin's and you live in the Atlanta area, or if you live somewhere else and come to Atlanta, they never disappoint. Even though I get the same thing every time.
Yeah, me too. And I get distracted by the menu.
They have something called lobster fried rice with lobster chopped up in it, and then you get a whole lobster tail to go with it, and that is really good.
And I got the lamb chops, which are quite tasty, I must say. Right. You know, I was watching this on Facebook today. I was looking for. I think I was probably looking for a picture of our guest, and I ran across our fearless leader in Legal Shield, Mr. Darnell Self, and him and his wife, Tracy Self. They were on an event, an excursion, blind eating. I forgot what it was called. I saw it actually on Facebook a while back, and I thought that'd be neat. So it's where they blindfold you, and then you have to try. You have to eat what's on the plate, but you don't know what you're eating. So I didn't think you would like that.
You're right.
So I said, now, Fuller's, he likes to try new things, but he ain't all for trying like, you going to blindfold me and then tell me that I got to eat whatever you don't want me to know is on the plate. Yeah. And I got to guess. I don't know if you have to guess yourself. So
I'm not that adventurous.
They look like they were having a good time. So you did that on, that was Friday.
And Saturday, had a birthday
Christmas bowl.
Christmas college football bowl.
NFL bowl.
And it was really good. It started at 12, so people start coming over a little before 12 till the last game. One was on at 8. 12, 3, and 8. And it was just a great day. A lot of close friends, some new friends. It was just a very exciting time, and we're just going back and forth from room to room, just fellowshipping in the theater room, watching the game. The guys in there, and man, we got kind of loud there because we had a couple of debaters in there.
So I was telling Fuller that for my friends who have known me forever, that normally I do an annual Christmas party, and Fuller was like, "Okay, we can't have 100 folks over, darling, like you used to do it. So how about this? Is my birthday. We're gonna plan and have about maybe 10, 12 people over." And the way our house is now,
we probably wind up with about 15, 16.
But we committed to having it, keeping it small. Everybody brought something. We had plenty of food, so it was great. And so
Sunday was church, and went to the Falcon game. See my new Falcon cap.
Okay, I see. What's it say? Be a change maker. Oh, and one of our favorite quarterbacks of all time, Michael Vick. we're so happy for him.
Right. Got a coaching job at Norfolk State. Yeah.
You went to you went to Fort Valley.
Right.
Yeah, but HBCU.
Yep, HBCU.
Yep. So we were so excited for him.
I'm glad to see the former NFL players invest in our community and our local college to bring visibility, and so more have that visibility and get an opportunity for a professional career.
Yeah.
And if not, maybe just a career, but they have that exposure. So
but
I'm excited about that.
Sometimes we think, and this is going to go into our conversation tonight, but sometimes we think that God has forgotten about us. We go through these trials, these ups and down cycles, roller coasters in our life. And we think, man, why did that happen to me? And then we don't know what's at the end of the finish line, right? We don't know the conclusion of the whole matter. So, like many of us, we've gone through tragedy, whether it's in a marriage, divorce, or life. It's called life. Or losing a spouse, or having a spouse. And there's these roller coasters, these bumps and hurdles and all of that. And I'm so thankful that for those that don't give up and cave in or quit, that they see the opportunity to have a new adventure in life. And so that's what happened with Michael Vick. Same thing happened, different point with you and I. And so I was telling Fuller the other day, now that our guest is in the background, they're getting themselves together. We just kind of stalled a little bit. But when we met, I was just looking at him the other day thinking, wow, Fuller, I would have never saw. This is honest. You said that. I would have never saw us together ever in a million years. But my guest tonight, she can remember when we were talking about who is this OG trying to holler at you, darling? And I was like, y'all, for real? And she was like, girl, if you don't stop, whatever.
Well, one thing I said about Kennetha, my friend KK, she said she was on board at her and Ronaldo.
And Sharon Larry, that was all.
And Tawanza, they was all team Fuller. And Jerice, they was all team Fuller from jump.
Yeah.
So
everybody else,
they were trying to help you out because they know, you need a little pickup.
Okay, first of all, I don't need no pickup.
You need some enhancement in your life. Because some things you can't do for yourself.
So hold on now. I don't know what all that meant, but that was kind of sexy, baby. Okay. Look, come on now. So you guys look. Hey,
man, I'm telling you, y'all in for a treat.
Y'all in. I don't even know where this is gonna go tonight, you guys. For real, I don't.
James and KK, they are some of the most interesting, exciting people that enjoy life to the fullest, and I'm glad to call them friends.
Yeah, and I am too. Look at them. What's up? They're our friends. Oh, and y'all have not heard. Maybe of some that are in my business have heard of James and Kennetha Kelly, but for the most part, the audience here are the people that have been following, us from church or different ministries, or just people from all over, people from way in Griffin, Georgia, but all of the people that stop us when we're other places and say, "Hey,
everywhere, we know y'all."
Look, they know for real. Anybody need to know James Kelly. Kelly, welcome you guys to GodFidence.
What's going on, family?
Hey,
we good.
Mr. and Mrs. Fuller.
Look, and you looking all peachy, Georgia peachy.
Literally. I'm literally Georgia peachy today. I mean, excited. Face is about to
look, she just conservative today. She ain't letting the real KK come out.
Right. She letting me come out on there.
Pull our mouth lift up.
Before we get started talking serious and everything, James, where did you go to school? I know you played ball. Where you play ball at? And what ball you play?
Nah,
you
look
like an athlete.
High school, but I didn't play in college. I went to University of Louisville, but they probably could have used me a few of those years.
What did you play?
Basketball.
Okay.
I know you're a football guy,
but you did do the
we traveled.
Yeah, they had a little traveling team at the college.
Okay.
With all the people who thought they should have been on the team, but quite wasn't.
For sure. We had a lot of fun. That's what it was. We had fun and learned some stuff. That's what it was.
All right.
Well, so look, so we want to get right into our topic for tonight. And I just put in there, I know James and Kennetha Kelly, but would you guys do us a favor first? Let's start out by you introducing yourselves individually, collectively.
How they met.
Yeah, how you met. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. And then we're going to get into our topic, which is why opposites attract with the Kellys. So go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely the dichotomy of us, because we do come from similar worlds, but are very different in our perspectives and approaches to the same world that we've lived in our whole lives. So we knew each other from family and church and community. And so, we've been knowing each other since we were kids.
Our families grew up together in the same projects. So literally our grandmothers were friends and, did all the things together. And of course, the families kind of grow up together at that point as well. So,
Did you say you live in Kentucky?
Yes, we live in Louisville, Kentucky.
So, okay, wait a minute, hold on. How do you? So I say Louisville.
That's so wrong.
Louis.
And the really wrong part is that we friends. And I know I done told you. I know you done heard me say my city. It's Louisville. That's it. Louisville. Louisville. Thank you for it.
Louisville.
Well, you don't full of country now.
So all extra particular and not country. Just say it like you're from the country. Louisville.
Right.
Louisville. Okay, we got it.
Wait, isn't there a place near you guys, Shelby or something like that?
Yep, Shelbyville Road. It's actually Shelbyville, Shepherdsville, and Shelbyville.
Yeah, I know somebody live in Shelbyville.
Well, we found out early on when we was trying to make sure Darlene was dating you that you knew a lot of people from Kentucky.
I remember when he said the Shelby. We talked about that before.
We did.
Everybody need a little wise counsel every once in a while, fellas. She needs a little help. I heard you. I'm with you.
Yes. So finish telling us a little bit about you guys. Introduce yourselves some more, or tell us how we met.
For sure. Yeah. So we have been married now 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th year anniversary in Marbella, Spain. And that was an absolute,
it was a grand of a time.
It was. Yeah. So culmination of all these years that we blended our lives together. And so parents of 4 children, young adults, and one godson. So
Jake,
we got 5 altogether, right? Yeah. So Jordan, Jalen,
and I have a grandpup, Chloe.
Your child done dropped they dog off with your house, huh? Okay. All right.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Instead of going and getting a husband and have a child, they getting dogs instead. So I don't know. We'll figure that out on the next episode. But that's us. So we've been entrepreneurs also for a majority of our lives as well. Work together, of course, with Miss Darlene Fuller. Congratulations, by the way, on your recent accomplishment. Yeah, being Hall of Famer.
200.
Yeah. So we started dating while Kennetha's. You gonna go?
Yeah, because his version is not the truth.
How is it not the truth?
So again, we were in church together, and I came home from college. Came home from college to get my hair done, because who can be at college one weekend without getting your hair done, right? So I went to my hairstylist's house, which happens to be his mom's best friend as well. And he was good friends with the hairstylist's son. So anyway, he was at the house. I'm looking, she's not there. I'm about to leave. He says, "Oh, today's my birthday. I don't get a birthday kiss." And I'm thinking,
that's the truth.
Well, we don't really know each other like yet, but okay. You know what I'm saying? A little peer pressure at that point. And the fact
it was my 16th birthday.
Okay.
James Kelly, wait a minute. Did you say 16 and how old was Kennetha?
Right, exactly. So she's right. Just so you know. I am
a smidget, which was why I was so perplexed, because why is this little boy asking me for a date? What are we doing
how old you was at that time?
I'm a grown woman. I'm in college.
She's a freshman in college. So I shot my shot. Well, that's what it was. I shot my shot at that time, and she went to kiss me on my cheeks. Like, okay. She went to kiss me on my cheek. Now, again, no, I knew her, she knew me. She was somebody I always looked up to. She
Right.
had been leading crowds, choir, director. She was always the person that everyone wanted to emulate. You know,
I can see that. I can see
all
that.
of that stuff, right? So, like, man, it's perfect opportunity. She went to kiss me on my cheek, and I kissed her on the lips. I'm like, man, might as well look.
Right. Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot, bro.
But what I heard was 16 and 18.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how we do it, James Kelly.
Hey, man, you got to have a little game.
You gotta have a little game. That's what it was.
If you don't gamble, you don't win.
Come on now.
And that's exactly how it went.
That's what it was.
He gambled, shot his shot, got a kiss, threw me a back, and
So we started just chatting from then and connecting. It was interesting. Right. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, I wasn't gonna say anything. It was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we stayed up, those long night telephone calls because I'm trying to figure out why am I even interested. But this little boy was actually more of a man in conversation, more mature than some of the guys that I was either currently dating or had dated in the past. So it was intriguing to have the conversation with him. And so we kept chatting every night and every day.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah. But that's true, I think, in a lot of startup relationships. But then what happens is over time, things start fizzling. Because we forget about making the phone call or the text. Well, we have no text messages then, but we forget about writing the letters, or now it is text messaging or calling, or Fuller talks about sometimes just walking by your spouse and tapping them on the behind, letting them know, or rubbing them on the shoulder, or the touch and the feel. And so, but I want to ask King Kelly.
I like that.
And I don't know if you can see my brand on the screen, but it's got KFM. That's I thought about you being the king, you and Fuller. I'm the king. And so I thought about you. So, Mr. Kelly, you are so eloquent with your words.
Oh God.
She froze.
Because years have now passed on. You guys have gotten together, you gotten married. Sure. What was it about her that was intriguing for you? Because as you learn that you guys are different, you're different in age, you're different in she's gone to college. Did you go off to college as well?
Well, I stayed home for college. She went to in-state college, which is University of Kentucky, and I was here at the University of Louisville. But a lot happened between when it was time for me to go to college and while she was there. So. Are we freezing at all? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right, perfect. Yeah. So, beyond the outer beauty that she always has carried, and just drop dead gorgeous. And again, she was older. Her and her family had done well, so they, of course, having money and the different things that go along with it, and just her spirit has always been infectious. The way, just like when you all met her, that's how she was as a young person, right? Leading all of our youth groups and things of that nature. So she was one of the most attractive people that I'd ever met. And to have a older woman and somebody with that level of attraction was just, as a young man, it was like, man, that's what you want. And so, but we were complete opposites, really. Like I was the very, like I always am now, cool, laid back, mild-mannered, but gentleman, respectful, and she
highly
was
intelligent,
the life of the party, and all the different things. So there was an attraction there because she enjoyed getting out and doing things in life, and it was something that showed me a different side of life that because we come from very humble beginnings, myself and my family, and so they were traveling. During our first holidays, we started kicking it. They would go out of town to go shopping for Christmas, right? So instead of being local, they would go to another state because they didn't want to buy the stuff that was in the same state as everybody else who was going to be buying similar stuff. So to get a chance to ride along and just go have those experiences, because I had never done that before. So she showed me a lot of things in my youth that I had just never experienced. And those were times that we really got a chance to do what it is that you were talking about. And that's really get to know each other, right? Because, you know, being in those long rides and things of that nature, just it's conversation, it's what you like. Yeah, all the different stuff that helps you to really understand and who you're sitting next to and the things that you like about them, the quirks that you have to figure out, the things that you got to work around, you know.
We're going to get to that.
Just like she know how to lift you up with her, you know, with her words. She definitely know how to cut you down. And you gotta be careful, especially back then, right? So it was a lot I had to learn about.
I have grown
tremendously. Yeah, had to learn a lot about calming her storm without quenching her fire.
Yeah, that's good,
James.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So what about so that's a good point that you made, calming the storm, because she is Miss, like we talking about you, Kennetha, like you're not there. Excuse me. So yeah. So but you know, because you are opposite in some respects, so you have a person that's really socialite, like me and Fuller. We're opposite. Right. And so whereas I'm in a gathering, we're in a gathering together. I have my group of friends that I'm socializing with. He's got a group of people that he's talking to. And I know Kennetha, she is she is like the life of everything. You have to just love her. And I do, because you are so beautiful. I mean, this girl can sing, y'all. Look. She can sing. She can make you laugh. And then you'd be looking like, what's really going on? So what is that like? How do you balance that out in a relationship, knowing what you know, having the years of experience with your wife, and now you're kind of laid back and reserved,
especially with that anointing that's on her, and she got a prophetic anointing, because I sensed that early when I first met her.
You called me out.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the things that really connected us early on, is that we balanced each other out in those ways, and it kind of really became us against the world because of the difference in ages, differences in families, and all different stuff. It wasn't really welcomed that we were together.
Wow.
So there were
like
a lot
me and his mom were really good friends. Like, she was my church mentor. You know what I'm saying? She was older. I felt she was savvy in finance, and there were things about the hair business. We forgot to say that I'm a stylist and he was a barber, and we had a business together and all the things. And so she was guiding me, giving me financial advice as far as my business went. And so when we ended up getting together, that wasn't up her alley.
Right.
Oh, I bet that was a hot mess.
In Kentucky, right?
It was a hot mess. Who sent me in Kentucky?
Ronald Fallbush.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Ronald.
What's up, Ronald?
Ronald Fallbush, a friend of ours who's a member of Creflo Dollar Ministerial Association, and they're gonna be down this weekend. He said it's gonna be down Sunday and for New Year's.
Yeah.
So I had to hook him up.
Fallbush, tell the Kellys type in where you're from in Kentucky so that they know.
I see Ronald.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You see Ronald. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are we keeping it warm and fuzzy? Are we talking about? I know So
just talk, baby. It don't got to be warm.
Right.
This is
real.
It's a safe space.
No, it's
really organic. It's really organic here.
Yeah, so people didn't want to see us together. No. And when I say people, it's one thing for you to have people that are around you, but it's another thing when it's the people that are closest to you. Right? Like you were saying, my mom didn't really see it because they had more of an adult relationship, and it's like, that's my baby.
Right.
And her mom was the same. It was like, what are you doing dating this little boy? This is a problem here. So so much so that when I would come to visit her, I wasn't even allowed in the house. Like if I was going to get a chance to spend time with her, we had to sit on the porch or we had to leave. And this is whether it's wintertime, summertime. Like I remember spending many hours we're freezing, but we're going to stick this thing out, for sure. So I only bring that up because during those times, it helped us to forge a relationship that although we would go on to get pregnant as I'm going off to college.
Ooh.
Got pregnant with our first son because those worlds kind of just pushed us together.
Yeah, we were all we had.
And we were doing, adult stuff that we probably shouldn't have been doing. Probably. So we had, right, exactly. So we weren't married yet, but we had Jordan, our oldest son, as I was going off, getting ready to go to college. And she had decided to stay home because she wanted to go to hair school and had some challenges her freshman year. So we ended up spending a whole bunch of time together. But all of those issues surrounding our family and all the different stuff pushed us to say, you know what, we're going to make this thing work. Yeah. And once we had our first son, we started having challenges within the relationship because as I started to grow up, she had always been the alpha in the relationship.
Okay.
So at 18, 19, I'm starting to see like, okay, there's a certain way things are supposed to go. And this ain't it. So so I'm starting to understand who I was as a man. Yeah. And in our relationship, it caused friction. So we ended up, once we had Jordan, we ended up splitting up.
We split up before we had Jordan.
Yes, we did split up before we had Jordan. So, but it was a struggle during those times as we were defining these roles and relationships, because as you all were talking about, the dichotomy of us was in my mannerisms. There was a lot of stuff that I could accept when I was younger, but as I started to grow up, once I became a man, it was time to put away some childish things. You know what I mean? And some of the stuff.
Nobody told me he was growing up, becoming a man.
But see, that's divine order.
I was still in charge.
That's divine order, and he was getting his rightful place. He grew. He grew into his rightful place. But those kind of conflicts really makes an opposition, challenges. It really makes your heart grow closer together. And knit together because you weather some early storms. The couple we had last week, the oars, which y'all need to go back and see. We had them on twice.
They're powerful.
Her mother, his mother would not even attend their wedding. Wow. Yeah, she was she was really upset with him getting married, and his mom had been divorced for a while. And so he was like the man in the house, and the man, she was always there. And so to see her lose her boy, the man of the house, it was challenging to her. But now they get along great. They got a great relationship now. But it was started off kind of tough.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Kennetha, what is your advice to, as James was talking, it reminded me of a lot of young couples that start dating. And, when we have our first love, you start dating and you start thinking that that's the person. And then you start moving very fast. You forget about all your dreams and all the things that you thought you were going to do. And you start focusing in on that relationship. And that works. Maybe for some people, and that may be the direction that somebody needs to go. But now that you've been through the storm and the baby and dating early, going off to school, coming back, not finishing, all of that, what advice would you give let's just talk about a young woman.
That's good.
First of all, it's the sensitivity part. Like, you have to know your own inner voice. One of the things that catapulted James and I to where we were was because in one of those late night chats in the car, I literally audibly thought I heard him say, "I'm his wife," or "That's your husband. I'm your husband." And I started laughing like, "What'd you say?" And he was like, "I ain't say nothing," you know what I'm saying? But I literally audibly heard the voice of God tell me that was my husband. He didn't say anything remotely like that in conversation, but I knew what I heard with my ears. And so it wasn't this physical ear, but it was my spiritual ear. And so at that point, I knew it was a lot bigger than all of the adversity that we were going to be coming up against. So I had to have something to believe in. So I would say to a younger woman, you know what I'm saying, knowing and believing in yourself and knowing that you have something to believe in yourself and in the relationship is one of the things that you have to have a foundation, I think is what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
And that foundation has to be something that cannot be shaken, because even though everybody else was against who we were and what we were becoming, we were solid as a rock. You know, we had already gone to stores to look for jewelry. You know, we had already put my little ring on layaway, you know, all the things. And so when, as I remember, he was getting ready to go to college, and I was like, well, just take the ring back and use that money for college. We ain't going nowhere. This was before we actually went somewhere, because we broke up a few months after that. But again, that was me not really being that certain in myself. I knew what God had told me, but I didn't see the change in him and the progression that I was going to have to make in me in order for that to happen. So I was just going to stand 10 toes flat, strong and wrong. And I don't care what you do, but yeah, I really did care. And there we went, separated our separate ways. But God found it enough sovereignty in his heart to bring us back together not too many years after that. But just being able to be strong enough and thoughtful enough about oneself as a woman really will, you know, create that foundation. So,
okay. So go ahead, back.
Well, you know,
I was just going to add to the question, like being a strong woman like you are, and I think, you know, Darlene was asking for advice to a younger woman or young women. When you are that strong personality and you're looking to build into a relationship, what advice would you go
ahead, James Kelly, go on and do your interview for us.
Because no, that is good, because yeah. All right. So when it comes to that part, it was willing to be wrong, willing to take a back seat, willing to not dumb yourself down, but know that you don't have to be the one with the answer first. You don't have to be the one, you know, trying to guide or lead, especially in a relationship. Because for me, I was the firstborn child, and my dad raised me like a son.
You spoiled.
Spoiled was not even the word. So I was the first granddaughter, the first niece. You know what I'm saying? I was the first everything. Right. And so,
and expected to know everything,
about all things. And so it was definitely difficult for me to take a back seat off of allowing him to lead when I've been the one knowing and supposed to know all these years. And now you're telling me I don't have to know, and I can still know, but I don't have to be the one to exert it. So that was difficult. But what I was able to do was find, you know, a group of women that surrounded me, maybe not in a whole group, but onesie, twosies. Miss Nene, our son Jordan's godmom, who recently passed not too long ago. She would be like, I know you want to say this, I know you want to say that, but just hold on to it for a second. Yeah. See how it plays out the way that he's desiring it to. And if it does work out, then guess what? You learn from the way he handled it. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, then you learn from the way he handled it. And then now you can share your thought process. And I didn't always do it like that. I wanted him to know you was not right. But that didn't get us a lot of places. And it took that was a pretty long breakup. It took that breakup of me growing up and him growing up, us being in two different relationships and having another kid outside of where our union of being together, all those things to mature me as a woman to know that he was my good thing. And how dare you run him away with this thing right here that was not a good thing for us or him. So I was doing more tearing down than I was building up. And I wish I would have learned those lessons sooner. But the best thing about that is even in me learning the lesson, he still guides me through teach me how to talk to me. Yeah. I'm going to teach you how to love me. And I think that's important, no matter how old we are or young we are, to make sure that we're, you know, learning how that person is supposed to be loved or wants to be loved and treated. And for you to teach people how to treat you.
Yeah, Kennetha, when you said that about tearing someone down with words, I often tell Fuller my testimony. You guys remember my late husband, David Quincy. That was y'all's friend. Y'all knew David before you knew me. And so, but I remember telling Fuller how my mouth was tearing down our relationship, and I didn't even know it. And we are actually out of time, but I want to say this. And I want to go into our part 2. If you guys would come back for part 2 next week, we would love for you to continue this discussion with us. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. And so, but this mouth, the Bible talks about it being the red rider.
The tongue of a pen of a red rider.
And so it can tear down or lift up, right? And so I remember saying to David one time, and I shared this with Fuller, and I can't even believe I said it, but because as women, sometimes we're so independent, we think we got it going on. We got our own car, we got our own house, we got our own money. And so we say things and it comes out. And I know it's happened with you guys too. We say things and we catch ourselves and we're like, oh my gosh. So I said to him, I know you need me. I was like, did I come out my mouth? And that person, whatever we say, women and men, to your spouse, they'll never forget it. Never. They'll forgive, but they never forget.
I wasn't your spouse when you told me.
Yeah.
Right. You remember Kennetha could call you and told you, say, whatever it takes to get that man back, because I hung up. Yeah. I might be on your house. I just left, and I wouldn't answer the phone. I wasn't thinking about it.
You was something that's
to that. Right. Say, I don't need you.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't that.
Well, if you don't need me, I don't get it.
And that was.
I had my own car and my own house, and I was going back
there. She didn't understand your OG. You know what I'm saying?
Your OG.
So because I knew a little bit something about them streets she was navigating, I had to come through and help my friend say, "Okay, babe, this is what he meant." And I like him. So
and I was like, that's not what I said. I was like, what I was trying to say is that I don't want you to feel like I'm using you, or I don't want it to come across that way. So it's not like I need you to do certain things for me. I want to be in this relationship because XYZ. That's all I was saying.
Was a man's man. You know what I'm saying? He was right there. So for you to tell him, no, this isn't something that I need from you. Oh, guess what? Yeah. You must not need me at all. So let me dip on out and
you can't pick and choose. You can't pick and choose what you're gonna get from this person. You got to take them wholly.
But they
totally.
Like they are. And so James Kelly.
And I was just going to say that I think that's what the breakdown of many relationships are. And that's why they can't sustain, is because we think that just because we were who we were getting into the relationship, that's who we're supposed to be accepted for over the extent of the relationship.
Yeah.
And there's no way in the world 2 people that are evolving can stay the same and think that your relationship is going to sustain itself in the evolution. It's just impossible to do so. And often we're speaking a language to the people that we love the most, but it's not their language.
Come on, James.
And one thing about a man is he don't care how much you make, where you live, what you drive, where you stay. If you don't honor and respect him, I don't care what you got. You can't have me.
Look,
and evidently can't have James either.
Look, Fuller told me
we ain't gonna put up with it.
Look, Kennetha, you remember I told you Fuller said I was over at his house one day, and he said, I just want you to know, I ain't no punk. And he did that. Just like he said, I'm just letting you know, I ain't no punk. I don't even know what we was talking about, but he said, I'm just letting you know I'm a man.
He said, you said this is what you wanted, and now it's presented to you. And do you even know what you want? I said, I don't like him.
I was saying, don't let the smile fool you.
Don't let the smile fool you.
But no, to their credit, and I know we got to go, to their credit, if you're raised a certain way in society, tells you that that's the acceptable way, the reprogramming of oneself is one of the hardest challenges, because everything around you is telling you it makes more sense to be this person. As a matter of fact, it worked in some arenas, but in our early conversations, we'll have to get to part 2, right? Because we did split up, and I got married and divorced and all this stuff. So we still got a lot of
that's a lot of good tea coming. There's a lot of good tea next week.
But I had to tell her, I was like, if you want to be the husband, then why do you need a husband?
Oh, come on now.
Okay, is that the title of the next thing? If you want to be the husband, why you need? I need to write that down, baby. Write that down, baby. Say that that again. If you what?
If you want to be the husband, why do you need a husband?
That is a topic.
He was getting me, darling.
Hey, look, you guys that's chimed in. Look, tell everybody you know, tag some people, call whatever you need to email, text them, tell them, look, you can't miss this next episode.
Because I think we may have 3 episodes on this bad boy right here. Because I want to get into James Kelly to talk about and Kennetha on going into being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because that in itself, when you decide to go out and do what you believe God has called you to do, now that is another element in the relationship.
Out into the deep.
Woo, they were already entrepreneurs, but then now you start doing like network marketing or MLM, and just how all of that goes together. So we're gonna start with you. You want to be the husband, but why do you need a man? Why do you need a husband? And then we're gonna go into so anything you guys want to wrap up tonight's just our conversation with. Anything you want to share, and then we're going to have a part 2 next week.
I want to share how grateful I am for the 2 of you. Happy early birthday, Fuller. We love you to pieces. I mean, love you. And I'm grateful for you coming into my friend's life, because you didn't just shift the trajectory of her legacy, you shifted ours as well. And I'm sure everyone that she's connected to, and she's shifting some folks you're connected to as well. But one thing that we stand on and live on and have absolutely stolen from you is everything happens at the speed of relationship.
Come on.
And when you deposited that thing into us, it literally has taken birth. It has rooted itself. We are grounded in relationships and the speed that, you know what I'm saying, we connect with others and what we're supposed to do in life because of that word that you gave. So I am grateful to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Mr. Kelly.
Yes, ma'am. And, I'm sitting right next to my best friend, and I'm grateful because I've rarely met people who befriend people to the degree that Kennetha befriends people. Like when she is best friends with complete strangers.
Darlene was not my friend. I was just her friend.
She was just so nice to me. Didn't want nobody talking to me. Kennetha Kelly, hey girl.
No question. You was her best friend, right? Exactly. You was her best friend right off the bat. But we had 7 of them at this wedding that we went to last night. But by the time we left, she had 7 new best friends. But that's just who she is, right? But just watching you all insert yourselves into our lives and into the life. That's why GodFidence is so powerful, because you all are waging war against the things that are tearing down the infrastructure of society, which is the relationship. Right. And you're putting great examples of people who don't have these fairy tale stories, right? When you got somebody that's willing to give up their organ for their spouse, like this is real talk. You got people on here that are really willing to get into the sticks of things in order to make a lifetime together last and work and thrive, and not just be, because we know there's some relationships out there that should have put them to rest a long time ago. Like, man, y'all need to leave each other alone. Right. But
not only should man have a son that is, but so God should have a son.
But so I just want to say thank you all for what it is that you're doing in the lives of many, and most especially in the lives of the Kellys, because you have made a major impact, both publicly as well as privately. And so we're appreciative, and we do anything in order to make sure that GodFidence, of course, continues to get what it deserves, from the couple standpoint. So thank you all for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank both of you. Love y'all. Love y'all so much.
Right here. Y'all got to dance it out now. This is what we do at the end of the show. We got a little song. And it's Christmas time. And look, by the time we see you guys next week, it'll be
almost New Year's.
We will celebrate it. And it'll be almost the New Year. The New Year's next week.
Right, no.
I'll get it. Next week.
Next Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday week.
But all I want for Christmas is you.
Yeah.
Here we go, you guys. You got to dance it out. All I want for Christmas is you, baby.
All I want for Christmas is
Come on, you guys. It's time to dance it out.
I know.
Y'all can
Happy birthday, Fuller, for sure.
Go ahead.
Y'all doing a little more than Christmas thing.
Make my wish come true.
Oh, by the way, audience, that voice y'all heard at our wedding when Darlene was singing to me was Kennetha.
It was Kennetha.
We listened to that the other night. And I said, listen to Kennetha. That's Kennetha.
I said, that doggone Kennetha, she was in my ear too. I was like,
girl, I'm gonna come in and help you.
That was so funny. We love you guys.
Love you.
We love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.